We'll be ranking the top investment apps of 2025. We'll be ranking them on a tier system, S being the best, whereas D being the worst, and we'll be judging them based on several factors. Number 1, the commissions and fees. Number 2, UI usability. Number 3, product offering. Number 4, bonus sign-up incentives. Number 5, tools and analytics. And lastly, at number 6, track record. We'll be ranking these following apps. And let's get straight into number 1 with Webull. Starting out with Webull's fees and commissions, they charge a $0 commission on stocks. On options, they also charge 0, but with some exception. For some of the more popular options, you'll be charged 55 cents per contract. You also have to pay for futures at $1.25 per contract. They do offer margin trading. Here are the margin interest rate. If you borrow under $25,000, you'll be charged a 8.99% interest rate. $25,000 to $100,000, you'll be charged 8.49% interest rate, and those interest rates get lower if you increase your margin. On Webull, you can buy stocks, ETF, options, as well as futures. You can also buy fractional shares on Webull, but you can't buy crypto, mutual funds, Forex, or bonds. In terms of the bonus sign-up offer, if you deposit a minimum of $500 into your account, you can get up to 20 free fractional shares. These fractional shares will range from $3 to $3,000. Obviously expect the minimum at $3 a share. Even a fractional share of $3 at 20 shares, that's a free $60. If you deposit more, up to $2,000, you will get 40 fractional shares with the same price being $3 a share to $3,000. They are both FDIC and SIPC insured. They haven't had really bad press recently. A lot of Reddit users really love Webull. If anything, the one thing that I kind of dock Webull on points is that they are Chinese owned. It is owned by a Chinese firm, Hunan Fumi Information Technology. I know that this fear isn't derived in any truth and that I'm just wary about Chinese companies as a whole. And honestly, that's the only bad thing I could say about them. And now let's get a demo of the Webull interface and how easy it is to use the app. So going into the app, there's actually 2 different types of apps. There is Webull Normal and as well as Webull Lite. If you do Webull Lite, it is almost too simplistic. I will give you a kind of quick demo. When you click on a stock, again, it is very, very simplistic. They do have candlestick mode, but nothing other than that. You can still draw, which is nice. But the only purpose of this is to just buy and sell normal stocks. Going back to the normal mode, going to like Google, for example, there are options you can buy. So there's different strategies for which options you can buy. You can buy, covered options, straddle, strangle, all these other options. Look at both calls, puts, as well as both. And then the reason why I think Webull stands out compared to some of the others is that their charts are very detailed. So if I go to landscape mode on my phone, you can do stuff like draw trend lines. You can also get other types of indicators shown here. Another thing that's pretty nice is that you get to compare side-by-side stocks. So if you do like versus compare, so if I wanted to compare, Apple, Google, and maybe some other tech stock like Microsoft, you can compare 3 charts, and actually the drawings carry over to these compare charts as well. There are very complex tools here that some of the advanced traders use, but if you're a basic trader, you don't have to go into those details, and honestly, the UI is pretty straightforward where a basic trader can use this as well. So all in all, I feel like the app is pretty simplistic to use both for a beginner trader as well as an advanced trader. The app is also super responsive. There's no lagginess. Overall, I think the fees and commissions are pretty on par with some of these other apps we'll be comparing to. I do think the margin interest rate is a little bit high compared to some of these others, but their app is really easy to use. They also have a really crazy sign-on bonus. So overall, this app is in S tier. Next on the list is eToro. So eToro offers several different products. You can buy stocks, ETF, crypto, and basic options trading. You can't buy mutual funds, bonds, or Forex. eToro also does not offer margin investing if you're into that. You can buy fractional shares, but there has to be a $10 minimum. eToro also has a cool copy feature called Copy Trader that allows you to copy some of the trades that some of the best traders have on that platform. For commissions and fees, there are $0 for stocks and ETFs. There's also no commission for options if you are a user in the US. If you're not in the US, you'll be charged 65 cents per contract. On on crypto, they do charge a 1% fee on both the buy and sell side. And they also don't charge withdrawal fees, but there has to be a $30 minimum for you to successfully withdraw. Going into the sign up bonus, eToro offers $10 of free cash for the first $100 you deposit into your account. It's definitely not a crazy offer, but at least it's something. eToro is FDIC and SPIC insured, and they have not had too much bad press at all. If anything, some people in Reddit do say that their customer service is actually pretty good. Going over to actually buying a stock, we'll go to our watch list, type in the stock we want, let's say NVIDIA. I guess one thing you'll notice is that it takes a long time for some of these stock charts to load. I mean, sometimes it takes up to maybe 5 to 6 seconds for a chart to load, and that is a long time compared to some of these more instantaneous ones on Webull and Robinhood. But if I want to buy a stock, I just click here and then there would be an option to buy a stock, and that's about it. For their tools and analytics, they do have some. So if I go to this symbol here, these indicators, you can select some indicators that you want. Again, the UI is really confusing, as you don't know which indicators are actually on your chart. So if I exit out, I literally selected all those indicators, but there's no UI telling me that I did successfully select those. And also, unless you know all these indicators by name, pretty hard to find what you want if you're not a super advanced trader. There are also no drawing tools like what Webull offered. There are different charts that they offer, area, line, candle. The one feature that I do like is this copy trader feature. So as you can see, the first trader spotlight here is Victor Lee. We can view his stats, see what he invested in, and the average risk. You can also see his portfolio. So he literally has just 3 holdings in Bitcoin, ETH, and Link, and they're all long holds. So you can copy this exact portfolio and hold it yourself. That is quite an interesting feature on this app. Overall, I would give this app a D tier because their app is pretty simplistic, slow, and they charge a 1% crypto fee on both the buy and sell side. I think my rationale for giving them a D tier is backed up with the fact that the Google Play Store has a 3.8 star for them. There are just way better apps out there, so that's why I don't recommend this. Next is the app called Public. With Public, you can buy stocks, ETFs, crypto, OTC stock, over-the-counter stock, which are basically unlisted stocks, as well as basic options trading. You also have the ability to buy bond accounts, which is basically a bond portfolio for you, as well as the option to buy bonds, specifically just T-bills. What you cannot buy on Public are mutual funds or Forex. You can buy fractional shares on Public, but the minimum is $1, which makes sense, to be honest. For the commissions and fees, this is where Public gets a little bit confusing. So first off, I need to get to the fact that Public offers premium accounts called Public Premium for $8 a month, or if you have $50,000 in your account. On stocks, ETFs, and options, they charge $0 in commission. However, if you buy during extended hours, meaning outside the time frame of 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time, if you want to buy a stock or an ETF, either $0 if you have Premium Public, or if you don't, you'll be charged $2.99 per transaction. For OTC stocks or over-the-counter stocks, again, for premium members, you'll be charged $0, but for non-premium members, you'll have to pay $2.99 per transaction. On options on indexes in particular, for premium members, you'll be charged 35 cents per contract, and for non-premium members, you'll be charged 50 cents per contract. For bonds, they charge actually a holding fee. For premium public members, they'll be charging $0 per month, but for non-premium members, they'll be charging $3.99 per month. They also have fees on top of that for the bonds that you buy. I will leave the chart here because it's just easier to explain. On the right-hand side column, it's a fee per $100 of par value. Next, in crypto, they do charge on crypto, depending on how much crypto you're buying. Here is the chart for their fees. But from 1 cent to $10, you'll be charged a 50 cent crypto fee, all the way up to above $500, you'll be charged a 1.25% order fee. I'm not done yet because there's also an inactivity fee. If your account balance has $20 or less and there's no activity from you in 90 days or more, it will charge $5 every 6 months if you meet that criteria. Lastly, let's get to the margin interest rate. So their margin interest rates depend on the federal funds target rate, which is what the government charges other banks to borrow money. And so here is their fee structure. So up to $10,000, they'll be charging the federal funds rate plus 5% on top of that. Right now, the federal funds rate is at 4.75%. So in the month of December 2024, which I'm filming this, if you want to borrow up to $10,000, the interest rate on that is 9.75%. And that margin interest rate gets lower and lower depending on if you borrow more money or not. For the bonus sign-up offer on Public, the only thing that they offer are transfer amounts, which you can see here. For a minimum of $5,000 of transfer that you put into your account, you get $150 back. It's about a 3% one-time bonus for putting in the minimum of $5,000 into your account. They are FDIC and SPIC insured. Now let's take a look at their app, see how intuitive it is to buy some stocks. So going into the app, I actually think that this app is one of the most intuitive. I like all the colors. It's really easy to find out, what's actually happening. Say I want to look at Apple, for example. If you wanted to trade options, you can click into that menu and you'll be able to trade those options. And then equity, obviously, if you want to just buy shares outright, you can buy those as well. This is where Public kind of gets pretty cool, and you can choose this bond account, which are a portfolio of bonds that are all bundled up together. So obviously I'm not going to open a bond account. Additionally, you can buy treasury bills. So you can buy only 6-month treasury bills, but these are actual treasury bills that they hold for you. So these are at 4.35%. So they do take a little bit of a cut on those bonds, but it's just cool that this app actually allows you to invest in just treasury bills. If you've ever tried to buy a T-bill yourself, the UI from the government is absolutely horrendous, and this is just more intuitive. Although they do take a small cut, it just might be more convenient to buy from them than to go through the actual government to buy T-bills. But overall, I really love their app and how intuitive it is. They also offer some products that some of these apps don't offer, such as bonds, both having like that portfolio bonds and buying T-bills themselves, which is really unique. Their sign-up bonus is pretty trash, to be honest. There's just that kind of 3% rebate for depositing a minimum of $5,000. I think their margin interest rates are pretty high at being 9.75% at the highest. And the fact that they take a percentage off of crypto. If you're buying above $500, you're going to be charged that one-time 1.25%. So overall, this one's a little bit hard to rank as I love their products and their app intuitiveness, but I feel like they charge too much and their bonus sign-up is absolutely garbage. But overall, I think I'm going to rate this a probably B- tier or C+ tier. I'll just put it in the B tier, but for now, just assume that this is on the lower end. Next up is Robinhood. They offer stocks, ETFs, and options. They also offer cryptocurrency. They offer tax-deferred accounts such as an IRA, as well as a portfolio of bundled stocks for a particular industry. You can't buy mutual funds, Forex, or bonds on Robinhood. You can buy fractional shares practically without a minimum. The share can be as small as 1/1,000,000th of the share that you're buying. Robinhood does offer margin trading, and here are their margin interest rates. Up to $50,000, the margin interest rate is 6%, which is really competitive. And like the others, if you borrow more money, the margin interest rate goes down. For Robinhood's fees and commissions, for stocks, there are no commissions whatsoever. Crypto, also no commissions. On options, Robinhood collects a 3-cent fee per contract. And for index options, if you have Robinhood Gold, they charge 35 cents per contract. If you don't have Robinhood Gold, they'll charge 50 cents per contract. For Robinhood's sign-up bonus, if you sign up with a new account and link your bank account, you'll be given a cash reward, which then you can transfer into a stock picking of your choice. Cash bonus ranges from $5 all the way up to $200. They even say on their website that 99% of the time, you'll get the $5 cash bonus. And so you can use that cash to buy fractional shares. I think their bonus is really, really weak. Even though you don't have to deposit any amount of money, the fact that you can get $40 of stock bonuses on Webull, it makes Webull's offering so much better. So Robinhood is FDIC and SIPC insured. In terms of their track record though, this is where the company really suffers. Back during the GameStop short squeeze incident, which was in 2021, basically what happened is that a lot of people followed this subreddit called Wall Street Bets. The subreddit is full of these almost degenerate kind of bets that people are willing to do to go for the riches. And so people were pumping the price of GameStop, causing some of these large hedge funds who shorted GameStop publicly to have huge losses. And so what happened on Robinhood is that the app froze some of these transactions where you couldn't buy or sell the stock at all. There's theories floating that Robinhood's clearing company called Apex stopped trading on this meme stock because Robinhood wasn't able to come up with the cash to clear those orders, and that's a huge red flag for any stock brokerage. Another theory is that Robinhood's parent company had a lot of GameStop in a hedge fund that they shorted, and they would lose tons of money. And that's why people think Robinhood froze those transactions. But nonetheless, this caused some major backlash for Robinhood as a whole. Going into the Robinhood app, the UI is extremely intuitive. You search for specific stocks through the search browse feature at the top. So if I wanted to, look at Microsoft, I just have to click here and I can see all this information. Disclaimer, I do have Robinhood Gold, so I'm not sure if my UI differs from yours. If you wanted to trade stocks, you just simply press buy and you have it there. One thing that lacks with Robinhood is the fact that even though there are candlesticks charts, you don't have the customizability of an app like Moomoo to draw different trend lines or to analyze a stock. You can only zoom if you do the expanded form, and there's also different indicators, but the indicators are quite limited. So I just think that some of the tools and analytics from Robinhood are pretty lackluster. That being said though, going to the other parts of the app, I do like that when you do buy crypto with Robinhood, you have your individual account rather than going through the brokerage to buy crypto. So you actually own the crypto that you buy on Robinhood. Additionally, the fact that they have a traditional IRA with a 3% IRA match if you have gold. I think if you don't have gold, it's a 1% match. But the fact that they have these different tax saving accounts is pretty cool. No other app. So I personally think that Robinhood's number of product offerings, especially the IRA match, is pretty cool. The fees and commissions are also extremely competitive. Most of the time they are either the cheapest or one of the cheapest for their fees and commissions. The UI usability of the app is pretty great, even though some of the tools and analytics can be limiting. But ultimately the biggest drawback of Robinhood itself is their track record. And because of their track record, I will be ranking Robinhood a C+ to a C. The last app that we're gonna rank is Moomoo. On Moomoo, you can buy stocks, ETFs, and options. They also allow you to buy REITs, which are real estate investment trusts. Like the others, you can't buy mutual funds, Forex, or bonds. You can buy fractional shares on the app. However, there are a limited number of stocks in which you can buy fractionally. They said on their website that there are about 300 plus shares they can buy fractionally. For the commissions and fees, Moomoo has some of the best. For stocks, ETFs, and options, they charge 0 commission. For index options, they charge 50 cents per contract. For over-the-counter trades, OTC trades, they also charge 0 commission. For the bonus sign-up offers, if you deposit $100 into your bank balance, you can get 5 free stocks. These stocks range from $2 to up to $2,000, but more than likely you'll just get the $2 share. And then if you deposit up to $1,000, you can get up to 15 free stocks, again having the same value of $2 to $2,000. Additionally, they also offer a bonus APY for the first 3 months that you sign up. So they'll boost your APY in a cash invested account up to 3.75%. So for total for the first 3 months in which you have your money in a cash account, you can be getting a 8.1% on your money, which is really, really good. They are FDIC and SPIC insured, but like Robinhood, although they didn't get as much press as Robinhood did, some people were saying during the GameStop incident, they also had trouble executing some of their stocks. Another thing that I noticed on Reddit is that some of their customer support is a little weak, so just keep that in mind. You're going to be using them as your main brokerage. Going into the app itself, one thing I really didn't like when I signed up with Moomoo is that I gave them my number to sign up with, and they actually called me and texted me to walk me through the platform. I know that for some of you, that might not be a red flag, but I literally hate when companies reach out to me. It's just super annoying, and that's just something to take into consideration. Going into the app, I mean, the app is pretty cluttered, to be honest. There's a lot of numbers being thrown around when you first log in. I'm sure for those that have been using it a while, you get used to the interface, but upon first going into this, there's just a lot of numbers being thrown at you, and it's almost too much. The menu is very similar to Webull, where you have charts, options, and some of these menus at the top. And if you wanted to buy a stock, you simply go trade at the bottom, and then select your order and then buy it. There is a lot going on here. You can click your desired price and stuff like that. There's things that I don't even know what they are, like attached order or these time in force. They do give you these kind of useful tools if you're an advanced buyer, but I think for an everyday user that just simply buys and holds stocks, this is way too much. Overall, I think Moomoo offers some of the best fees and commissions, meaning they charge the least compared to some of the others in the market. Their sign-up bonus is pretty mid. It's definitely less than Webull, but at least it's better than some of these other options like Robinhood, Public, and eToro. I think their UI is pretty confusing, especially for a beginner or even intermediate trader. And the fact that some people on Reddit have complained about similar GameStop issues back in 2021 is a little concerning as well. So overall, I am going to give this a C- or D+ tier, and those are my thoughts. Keep in mind that these are my opinions and you may have differing opinions than me. This was not sponsored by any company at all, and so this is my just raw, unbiased view. I do use Robinhood as my main stockbroker for those that might think I'm biased one way or another. If you enjoyed this video, let me know which stock app you use the most and whether you heavily agree or disagree. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.